I felt numb in a way because you put off that grieving process and you deal with like the finance side of it. You're not allowed to grieve.
The Funeral Expenses Payment, or FEP, from the DWP aims to help people on income-related benefits in England and Wales with funeral costs. But the FEP's narrow eligibility rules mean that many cannot access it, because there is another family member who isn't on an income-related benefit. This leaves thousands of people without crucial financial support in their time of grief. Susan's sister Gemma died in April 2023.
Gemma was quite a character. She'd laugh at anything. She'd got great sense of humour. She was jumping out on you, and she'd pay tig in the supermarket with my mum and things like that. Even when she was in a lot of pain or anything herself, she'd just laugh. Her walking, her arthritis in her fingers, because she had cerebral palsy, she would be in a lot of pain some days, other days it'd be a good day. She liked doing a lot of cooking, she cooked a lot with the children, did as much as she could, even though she got her struggles herself, she did quite a lot. I supported Gemma, like doing the shopping, picking up the children from school, because she found that quite difficult and didn't really go out the house that much. It was very close. We had quite a lot of laughs and stuff over silly things sometimes, but it just made the day, really. It was about 8 months when my sister became ill and she deteriorated quite quickly. And then she was in intensive care for like the 2 months where she got flu and lots of other things going wrong with her. I was making the funeral arrangements myself because I was my sister's next of kin as well. So that it was on me to do that. Obviously, I had the support of my family, but it's like, none of them were in the position to sort of help either. We just paid for my mum's funeral, and trying to find the money for my sister was very difficult. The difference between my mum's and Gemma's within 10 months had gone up £1,000. So it was about 3,500 to 4,500. We struggled to have the finances to pay for that, so we had to start looking elsewhere, which was, yes, very, very stressful.
Funeral costs have skyrocketed, and it's now not uncommon for it to cost upwards of £4,000 to have a funeral with family and friends present. What if you don't have that money in the bank? The FEP is a vital source of support for those who can get it, but the eligibility rules don't focus enough on the person applying and the reason they have taken responsibility for the funeral and the costs. In most cases, like Susan's, they are the natural person to do this. Instead, the FEP's rules focus heavily on finding another relative who isn't getting a qualifying benefit to then declare that they should take responsibility. But that's despite the DWP not even assessing whether that other relative is able or willing to do so. Meanwhile, the person who has already taken responsibility is effectively told they shouldn't. This policy is having a devastating impact on bereaved people.
I was on carers allowance for supporting my dad, and it was topped up by universal credit. So I would have been eligible to get the help and support off the DWP, and they said no. They said that they can't help us because my dad wasn't getting any pension credit. He just missed it by a few pounds. My dad, he wouldn't have coped making the arrangements. So my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer, and he's got severe arthritis in his shoulders and leg joints. So he's basically in a wheelchair. So getting about to organise these things, it just wouldn't have happened. I look after my dad's finances. I fill out any forms or anything like that. It's always that I'm dealing with these kind of things. I don't know where my mental health was. It was just, I felt numb in a way, because you put off that grieving process and you deal with like the finance side of it, but then not having that time to process anything. it was just mind-blowing, literally mind-blowing. Trying to think how to get that kind of help. Where'd you go? Where'd you turn to?
Susan reached out to Down to Earth, and we helped her to access charity grants towards the funeral costs. But many others struggle alone.
At Down to Earth, we hear far too many stories like Susan's. But it doesn't have to be this way. Scotland has a different payment to help with funeral costs, the funeral support payment. And because the eligibility rules are less restrictive, it's estimated that 40% more people can access it. We're calling on the government to bring the FEP in line with Scotland's system.
People do need that help and support. The way the economy is going today, just people can't afford to put something in place.
Let's take action together so that more people can afford a funeral for their loved one and have the space they need to grieve. Grief is hard enough. Fix the FEP.
Tell your MP why they should support our campaign. Write to them or arrange a meeting. Visit our campaign page at downtoearthsupport.org.uk. Share with the hashtags Grief is Hard Enough and Fix the FEP. A big thank you to Susan and Peace Hub Birmingham.